Happy Lunar New Year to everybody. Weather's not so great today, but it's a nice time of year. So welcome to all the students that are here to learn more about the H2H8 program, the Hearts to Humanity program, and apply for grants. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Steve Kahn. I'm the Dean of Mathematical and Physical Sciences, and I'm here to help encourage you as students to explore the opportunities available through H2H8. We have two students who are going to talk today. They'll talk briefly about their experiences, and of course, there'll be time for questions at the end. This is actually our fifth year with this program, and I'm extraordinarily pleased to see the growing interest among our students in math and physical sciences, engineering, and biosciences in this opportunity. I've had over these 5 years some opportunity to spend time with Bill Chu, with Stephen, and others, and I've been incredibly impressed by the desire of these folks to support students in science who really want to make a difference in the world. Bill and his board members, all of whom have strong ties to Berkeley, have the twofold goal of awarding students for their research that will benefit society and creating a cohort of students who can share research and create a sense of community. As it says on their website, the H2H8 community believes that it's through the advancement of science that we not only create purpose and meaning, but advance humanity forward towards a better future. And I have a great appreciation for the work they're doing to foster a cohort of students from a wide range of fields who can learn from one another. A little bit later in the program, Rachel will talk about some of the specifics of the grants and how you can apply. And so with that, let me turn it over to the first of our two speakers, who is Winston Yin. Winston is a postdoctoral researcher in the physics department. He got his PhD in physics from Berkeley just recently, with a focus on statistical methods and cosmology. And he worked with Professor Saul Perlmutter, one of our Nobel Prize winners at Berkeley, on that project. With Saul, he's also been working on leading the development of an educational initiative for scientific critical thinking with applications to data science. He also works in the formalization of mathematics through computer proof assistance. So, Winston, why don't you take it away and give your experiences?
Yeah, thank you, Steve. So it's a great honor to be invited here to share a bit about my experience with H2H8. So I've been a part of the H2H8 community since fall of 2024, receiving the graduate student research grant actually just a few months ago. So it's been a great honor to join this community. And for that, especially, I'd like to thank the board members of H2H8, including Bill and Stephen, who are here today. So through this organization, I've been able to meet fellow grad students from my own department, as well as many other STEM departments that I would have otherwise had very little opportunity to get in touch with, including chemistry, mechanical engineering, computer science, astronomy, my own department, of course, of physics. I've had a few friends in my group and other groups who have also received the graduate student research grant, and they've all had a very positive experience with the community. So what I like about the community is that it encourages interdisciplinary friendship and collaboration. It's very informal. So there are Thursday lunches hosted at the faculty club that are all paid for by the by H2H8 that everyone can just show up to and hang out. So I've made quite a number of friends there from all these different departments and had very interesting interdisciplinary conversations with them. And through, other than these Thursday lunches, there are also social events, either official H2H8 events. We went to Angel Island, took a ferry ride there, as well as other opportunities that are organized by the members ourselves, hiking and board game nights and So there's a lot of opportunities to get to know other people of other years and other disciplines. And in addition to that, we also have an opportunity to share our research with each other in these public presentations that are also available recorded on YouTube. And in addition to all those, Bill and the board have been very gracious in offering resources to subscribe to various large language models and offer to pay for these kinds of subscriptions and to let us use 3D printers in different spaces, which I've been able to take advantage of in the past few months. So I think this is not just a random grant that you receive, but it's also a community that you're going to join, and hopefully friends you'll make that last longer than the time you're here at Berkeley.
Great, thanks, Winston. That's very helpful. So let's go on to our next speaker, and then we'll take general questions. So our next speaker is Margarita Galeta. She's a fourth-year PhD student affiliated with the Berkeley AI Research Program, Bayer Laboratory, and also with the Stanford Department of Biomedical Data Science. Previously, she interned at Amazon as an applied scientist, at Dolby Laboratories as a sound tech PhD intern, and she co-founded a defense tech startup backed by Founders Incorporated. So, Margarita, do you want to discuss your experience and research?
Thank you for the introduction. I think Winston explained really well the experience and really corroborated his feelings. I'm also really honored to be part of this organization. And as Winston said, it encourages interdisciplinary friendship. I think when I joined, I felt that the organization has a really friendly and warm environment. It really feels that you are a part of something bigger. And the good thing is that you can meet people from many other departments, not just, for example, I'm in CS, I met people from physics, and you can really talk about other fields. So it's very interesting to exchange these ideas. Since I had previous experience with startups, I joined the startup club, and it just gathers together people who are interested in entrepreneurship and startups. And for example, last week we had a meeting with alumni from the organization who currently are running startups or had experience in that, and we can also connect with alumni from the organization and learn from their experience. So you can get firsthand information, which is maybe a bit harder or tricky to find online, and you can get this firsthand from members of the organization who are really open to share their experience. And yeah, lots of social events where you can connect with people from the organization. As Winston mentioned, the lunches. We have lunches every Thursday, and they are the faculty club, which is this interesting building in on campus. And yeah, we connect there. And a few months ago, also, we had a lunch in San Francisco with also alumni. It's a great organization overall. I've been here since fall 2024 as well as Winston, and so far it's been a really good experience.
Great, Margarita. Thanks very much. Okay, so now let me introduce the Hearts to Humanity board member, Dr. Bill Chu. Bill's a graduate of College of Engineering at Berkeley, receiving his undergraduate degree in electrical engineering and computer science in 1972 and his PhD in 76. Bill is the CEO of Aquis, a technology licensing company for high-performance computing systems, and he's a board member for Hearts to Humanity. Bill really enjoys building a lasting community of student researchers, and I've invited him to speak to us today to encourage more students to apply. So, Bill, do you want to take it away?
Okay, thank you, Steve. We have a big dream, and this dream may not come true, but we hope it will. And the dream is to build almost an eternal community for researchers that cares about humanity. So for that to work, Steve and I are in our senior years, so we certainly wish that people that we select to join this community, at some point in their career, will come back and sustain this community and keep it going generation after generation. So it's a very big wish. Whether it will come true or not depends on who will be joining this community and be keeping it going. And as this community becomes larger, and we now have about 200 research grants, and we hope that within the next few years it will grow to well over 500 or 600. And all UC Berkeley students. So one of the initial thing we look for in applicants are people who, when they leave Berkeley, they would like to stay with us and help future UC Berkeley students. So it's a way of paying forward, not necessarily financially, but just to be able to give time. And of course, when you become a successful billionaire or whatever, we hope you will support this organization. If you will run on, of course, any organization requires funding, but that's not primarily what we're looking for. We look for people who really cares that you can, through this organization, help future generations of researchers just like yourself. We are helping you in a small extent right now. But the grant is less important than, as Winston and Margarita say, you will find like-minded people who cares about humanity. A lot of people don't care about humanity. So in our community, hopefully you find those folks and become build long-time friendships. And that's in some sense more important than, just the money itself. We do have a lot of social activities. Margarita and Winston was saying that. We are actually starting to build our alumni group because this is our 5th year. We are now starting to have alumni who has shown interest to stay with the group. It's fair to say that not all alumni has shown that indication. So we hope that they will change their mind in the future, but we are now being probably more selective than we have been in the past when we started this organization. Okay, so the application process is very straightforward. You just go to our website, fill out the form as best you can, and do it before the deadline. February 28th is our deadline. And we were overwhelmed last year. We have quite a few applicants. We have 110 actually. And we had to say we couldn't accept everybody. But anyway, our interview process is very important. You will have most likely at least 3 board members, and we have H2H8 members that will join us in the interview to get to know you. So, and then what we do is if you qualify, we ask for a recommendation letter from your PI. That's a good sign if you get that. And this program is in cooperation with Steve department, the NPS division. The NPS division will send you the acceptance, the award probably sometime in July. And then we're welcome. Normally, we have a welcome activity in October to have you meet with other. We call it, when you get accepted, we call you explorers. You are explorers in our community, and because at your age you have many things to find out. So, so if you are interested to join our community, please apply before the deadline. Okay, thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Bill. So let me introduce Rachel Schaefer. Rachel works at our development team, and she'll introduce how to apply and answer any questions about that. Rachel?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I was going to talk about some of the specifics of the program and direct you as to where to go on the website. You may already have seen that. It's www.h2h8.com. You can find the application process and specifics about the grant application on the website. And I think Megan is also going to share it shortly in the chat. And I do want to draw your attention to some of the facts about the grants, because the website did a great job of answering it. But there are grants that you can apply for both undergraduate students and graduate students. For the undergraduate students, it's a $3,500 grant. And for the graduate students, it's $10,000. Specifically, it's 10,000 divided up as a portion for your PI. And hopefully, the PI can support your work in his or her lab or in his or her group. And then a portion of the award that goes directly to you. So this year, that 10,000 award is being divided into 7,500 for graduate students and 2,500 for your PI. And thanks so much for Bill, Stephen, and Terrence to support that. So as Bill already said, why the money always seems is very important. And we think here is actually a really incredible opportunity for you guys to build a cohort of friends outside of your specific fields of research, but also friends who are interested in science. And it's really wonderful, Bill, Stephen, and Terrence, and all the H2H8 board members to make the lunches, field trips, gathering possible. So I think it's their goal to hopefully you can start to build community in Berkeley here. And this is a program we also hope someday you were there at the very beginning and you're super successful, and perhaps you will consider give back to the program and bring more people along. So I really encourage you students here because I think the motives for this program are really great and the benefits to you could be very impactful. And Megan will put in the links for the application in the chat that you will need. And so there are specific pages for the undergraduate student information and another page for the graduate student information. There's also FAQ information on the website. So, so you could apply for the grants through the website. And it's very important, you do have to have a faculty PI sponsor for the application. And so besides all this, feel free to let us know if you have any questions. Winston and Margarita are here too, and they can also help answer some of the questions. And so feel free to put your question in the chat or raise your hand, and we'll try to answer those questions here.
Yeah, there's not that many attendees. I think we can take the questions verbally, so which will let everybody benefit by them. So let me open the floor now. You can raise your hand in the Zoom thing. Sierra, why don't you start? Could you put your video on when you ask?
Yeah.
Or you don't have to if you don't want
Okay. Sorry, I'm like
You
getting
should.
ready to go to a class soon, but
to. Okay.
I do have a question. I currently am doing research with someone at SSL. They are not actually a faculty though. Would I have to like cooperate with them and get a faculty member to sign off on this?
You said, what
It's-
department are you with?
She's
SS,
working at Space Sciences Lab, Bill. So
Oh,
Space Sciences Lab has a lot of non-faculty scientists who run big programs. They're principal investigators. They have grants just like faculty.
yes, yes, we actually welcome space scientists, so
okay.
that would be fine. Are you working in the Mountain View area in the future?
Yeah, it's solar wind stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Thank you so much.
Other questions? Okay, Sarah.
Hi, I'm a first-year student, graduate student in Earth and Planetary Sciences. I just had a quick question about more of the specifics regarding the application. It says 1 to 2 paragraphs, but do you guys have some more concrete word counts or anything? I just want to make sure it's not going too overboard.
We've been asked this before. Really not much of a word count as much as really what you think is enough to express, what you want to say. I do emphasize, please, look at the question and make sure you answer them the way we ask. And I've seen applicants that one short paragraph, which is typically not so enthusiastic, maybe, but I've seen application that's 1.5 page on one question. So anywhere in between.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, other questions?
Actually, could I follow up on that?
Sure, Winston, go ahead.
My sense is that, especially, in my interview with the board members, my sense is that this is really a community, and they want to get to know you, and they want to know the types of people who are joining the community. And so this is not just about you being a great researcher, but also about your general interest, your how you contribute to the community. And when it comes to writing the grant, it's less like a grant to, I don't know, some federal agency, where you describe the great details of your technical bits about your research project proposal. It's not that kind of grant. It's more about, the type of person that you are, that they're inviting into the community.
Yeah, thank you, Winston. I'd like to second that. So for your research and for your, I think research is important, but we judge less on that than your personal desire, especially whether you really appreciate our kind of community and whether you feel like it's something you want to stay with us, not just for the money, but for long. So that's what we tend to look for.
Thank you so much.
Okay, other questions? No, I'm not seeing any other hands. Is everybody clear on the application stuff? As Bill mentioned, it's really important to make it by the deadline because they do want to be able to evaluate.
Yes, deadline is pretty strict because we get overwhelmed. So,
Jasmine, you had a question?
Hi, yes, I had a quick question, and thank you for the webinar. My name is Jasmine Hughley. I'm a first-year PhD student in mechanical engineering. And at the end of the application, it was saying a photo. So is that like a headshot or resume, or what was?
just a headshot, yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's the shot that when you become an explorer, we use that photo on our website. So how would you, well, some folks realize that and later give us maybe a better shot, but that's what we use.
Use one that you would like having on the website.
Yeah, how would, something hopefully you like yourself, so.
Okay, thank you.
We also, just to compliment, we have students all over the world that tends to apply to us, partly because Berkeley is such a school that accepts students from many different areas. So we have many students outside of the US also apply.
Okay, any other questions? If not, Rachel, do you want to wrap up? Is there anything more we should say? Oh, we have another question from Sierra.
Yeah, just like one more quick question. As far as the biography on the application, like how detailed should or could that be?
The biography part, this may be my reaction a bit. It's I've seen biography that just talks about the really academic path. We actually look for a little bit more than that. I mean, people will say, well, I went to this school for high school and then university. And so that's really not what we look for. Sometimes a little bit more trying to understand you as a person, maybe be more helpful. You're going to be asked that anyway in the interview session. So, but we like to get to know you rather than and it's wonderful you got prizes and win a lot of awards. That's good. And your research could be very outstanding, but again, our emphasis on your person.
Thank you so much.
And then I just want to mention that the deadline is February 28th, and for the application. And we at Berkeley will inform you between the end of June or July about the award status. And the money will be distributed to you by the end of summer and from the end of summer to early fall.
There's a question from Oscar. Wait.
Yeah, I'll read it. He says he's unable to use his mic. The quick question, let's say I'm a graduate student working with multiple projects with my PI. In the H2H8 application, it seems to ask about summarizing a single research project. Am I advised to just choose one of these projects discussed in the application, or would it be more in the spirit of H2H8 to summarize my multiple projects together if they are tied to some theme? Thanks.
We have seen applications when people describe kind of a pathway to their research, which is fine. Or if you feel that you are now going to spend most of your time in your current project, that's fine too. We of course have a question to ask, whether your research advances humanity, so maybe that's also have some relevance. No strict worries about how to describe it. If you describe different projects for your history, that also tells us what you have been doing, which is fine too.
Yeah.
Can I chime in and ask a quick question, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks. I'm Maeve. I'm a fourth year PhD student in the physics department. I'm just wondering, I've had a look at the application process, and there's a question about kind of how do you envision your participation in the community going forward? So I'm just curious about, like, is there some kind of network building for those that have already gone through the H2H8 community? Like, once I'm, if I leave Berkeley, hopefully one day finish my PhD, and I go, back to Europe or something, is that something that you envision? Kind of
Absolutely.
community building? Yeah.
We are really in kind of the early phase of building a community. So we already have a fairly decent community at Berkeley itself. So as Margarita was saying, we had our first alumni luncheon. I'm spending a lot of time asking explorers that have left to join the community, to join the alumni community. Now, there are a lot of them are not in the Bay Area, so it's hard to meet, but we try to hold Zoom meetings right now to get everybody kind of connected. So we need a lot more effort, but our hope is the alumni eventually will be the ones that come back and help explorers. So really, that's actually a priority for us.
Yeah, so just the fact that you might go elsewhere, back to Europe after PhD is a good thing. It spreads H2H8
Yes.
community to other places in the world, which would be good. That's
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? I'm not seeing any hands. All right, let me just leave it to you, Rachel, to close it out. Just see if you have anything final to say.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Steve. And thanks everybody for participating. And also thanks Winston and Margarita for sharing their research experiences. And thanks Bill, Stephen for joining us today. And so we encourage you to apply and make sure you make the deadline by February 28th. And so the application process is already underway. We know that there are already students who are applying. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to any of us here, and we're happy to answer them. And good luck with your application. And thanks for everybody attending.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Rachel.
Yeah.
If you have time, send me the video of this, even though we won't use it outside, but we like to keep it in the in-house.
Yes, I record that is on the clouds, so I will email the link to you. I think it should be available immediately.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Bill. So I see you again.
Well, we have more people than last year.
I hope so too, and keep me posted how that goes this year.
Pardon me?
Keep me posted
Posted,
how
yeah.
that goes, and
Okay.
hopefully we have more MPS students applying for it.
Actually, the first group, there were a few more.
Oh, really? Mhm.
Yeah, I saw there were a few more. But okay, we'll do.
Okay, thank you, Bill. I talk to you
Thank
later.
you.
Mhm.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.